DISDAT. We've been told that we hate Kenyan women, so I'm going to sit out on this
Do you?
one.
No.
First, listen. Yes, a minute.
The idea is to surpass Valentine's, because for some people it might not be.
Wow.
All that.
You're representing.
You get? Yeah, you're supposed to have read.
So one of your resolutions is not to worry this year.
Relax. Get it done with the pace that you can. History ya kukimbia, me seated there, hey, I'm not doing this, I'm not achieved, I'm not, inanipea to a lot of pressure. And all you just need is to sit down for a few minutes and be like, okay, DISDAT. Hi guys, welcome to yet another exciting episode of DISDAT Podcast. Why do we look this gloomy on set? Where's the ghost?
I was waiting for the whispering.
I know, that's the signature. Where are they?
Rewind.
Thank you.
Take two.
We have to. Hi viewers, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the
DISDAT.
Kabisa. To all the new subscribers, all the new viewers, welcome to the show and welcome back to all the OGs. I hope you're ready to have a good time with us as we have very exciting and very important discussions today. So I am your host today, Kendi K. Esther Kendi in the building, and I have a very gorgeous, beautiful girl next to me who is...
Well, thank you. My name is Charlene. And Happy New Year, guys.
Atutulisahau kusema Happy New Year last time.
Tunasema mpaka April.
Wow. I thought it's only January.
Mpaka April.
Okay. And the ghost who was lost but now found.
What do you mean I was lost and now I'm found?
How are you doing the intro without the
He wasn't
signature?
here.
He was not here.
So where were you?
So ghost, where were you? Where had you
I was in Wonderland. You know, ghosts will like to venture out, yeah? You
to
just
roam
zone
around.
out.
He was casting his last spell. We say when you put our wishes out there in the universe, they get to be picked, then they're delivered. Someone had delivered a content.
Oh, at this particular time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he had to finish up with that, then get here. Anyway, welcome to DISDAT. We've had our ghosts. Welcome to Amifika Mwakilisha. Tuwezi complain sana. So how have you all been?
From the last time we...
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. I've been good. I can't complain. Warming up into the year still.
Tumesema ni New Year di April.
Mpaka April.
Hata Easter tutasema ni New Year.
So Easter ikifika, now the new phase begins.
So Easter ikifika, what is the next phase?
Happy Easter.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
Did you have to
The
help
idea
her? She had something like crazy out of this world that she was going
The idea is to surpass Valentine's, because for some people it might not be.
Wow.
All that.
You're representing.
You get? Yeah, you're supposed to have read.
What was it I read?
What do you mean for some people?
I'm not tagging anyone in the room.
You know, that brings me to an interesting conversation. Yeah? You know, you might be thinking that you're riding in the same boat with your friends, but uko tu peke yako.
True. Very true.
So usiseme you're not tagging people in the room and you are the only person in the room.
Unajua uzuri nini, ikifika that particular period, we shall know. These things you can't hide.
Vitu siku hizi zinafichwa. Vitu ziko mafichoni.
We will know.
You've had these people who are really like, hey, I'm struggling, I'm surviving. Then the next minute they're like, I need to get some takeouts. Dinner, your one supper is 3K, and they're like, I'm struggling, I'm surviving.
I think there's lanes to struggling.
It's not about lanes.
You're struggling.
You're saying you're struggling similar to me, but your struggling is you're getting something of 3K in a meal, one meal that you're saying to the struggle.
Your struggling might not be my own struggling.
I know that.
Yeah, ni kama wale wasi walipeleka watoi wa form 1 na chopa. Is it called St. Andrews?
Turi, yes.
Yeah. Lens, eh?
Lens.
So Kendi, those guys do not have problems of dinner of 3K.
At a 3K
secret. It's like that. Those two talk, of course, I don't know. You guys, tunaanzanga isho mkiniambia like get out of here. Just go. Imagine nitajam lakini not today.
The day.
Today.
Ghost, how have you been?
I've been nice. I have been nice with mixed feelings because there is a lot that is happening in this country that is not giving me. It is giving me sleepless nights. And
really?
Wow! It's like Yeah, I know your sleeping routine. What do you mean that
Why are you
getting
lying?
Why are you lying to our viewers and our listeners? There's a number of stories that have been happening in the country, and it's quite interesting. Is it too early to ask about how your New Year resolutions are coming along?
It's too
No,
early.
is it too early
It's too
though?
early.
It's not too early.
It's too early.
Even
A
if
week?
ukifanya mpaka December, you won't
Why
have
are you
achieved
asking?
anything.
At the end of the day, you have to when you literally in each quarter, you have to take accountability. At the end of the day, even if utakuwa unajipea pressure not to
No,
do
but
everything
Kendi,
within
no,
very short
no.
time.
Kendi, every quarter starts with a day,
Yeah.
a week. So every week you're supposed to be progressing towards that
Thank
quarterly
you.
goal.
But utatupea pressure. That
Aye.
is giving us pressure.
Tutakuja hapa at the end of the quarter, you tell us whether you have achieved it.
Yeah, and I know I'll have made some stuff, but if you keep, it's like you've met these people who keep on bugging you about the same and you go like, can you just give it rest?
Nice. I think
Atufai kupeana pressure.
no, we need pressure, Kendi.
I don't pressure.
Me, I want pressure.
Baby girl, I want pressure.
Okay. Okay, I want pressure. I do not want pressure.
No matter one month's meeting is about poison. Don't take notes from one person.
So who
Worry.
for those who want pressure, how are the resolutions looking like? thus
Very,
far?
very good, very good.
Okay.
I am having sleepless nights for real. Working on my goals.
So Charlene, why are you not sleeping?
I need to achieve so much this year intentionally.
Yeah.
And I am working towards that. Every minute, every second, I need to be that girl by the end of this year.
And every hour.
In every hour.
And KK, why don't you want pressure?
I don't want pressure because at the end of the day, I know I'm taking a step, and each and every day I'm making a positive step. But if I get to, if for me, nikikuwa na hiyo level up, I'll just be. If ushajipata kwa situation, it's like you're just having a lot to be done, then you end up doing nothing because you're worried about doing some things which you're not doing and they need to be done.
Don't you think if you don't worry right now, ikifika at the end of the year, now you start pushing yourself to achieve those goals?
I was always the worrying type, honestly, where I need to get this done.
So one of
worry
you-
about it all.
So one of your resolutions is not to worry this year.
Relax, get it done with the pace that you can. History ya kukimbia, me seated there, hey, I'm not doing this, I'm not achieved, inanipea to a lot of pressure. And all you just need is to sit down for a few minutes and be like, okay, breathe in, breathe out, what needs to get done? 1, 2, 3. What can you do right now? 1, 2. When do you do 3? After I'm done with 1, 2, done. I don't need to have all that. Oh, I'm not done. If I don't need pressure, I'll just end up doing that.
I think there's many ways to kill a rat. Pressure, no pressure.
And they can also tell us in the comment section.
Yeah.
What do they exactly want? Do they want the pressure or they want to chill it out?
What about you? What about you, Ghost?
Me who doesn't have resolutions, so I don't even
how
know.
is your New Year coming along?
Or my
What is
New
giving
Year.
you sleepless nights?
Sleeplessness.
For real.
I'm sleeping like a baby. Yeah, I do not have no dream that is giving me sleepless nights. But I sort of get what Kendi is saying to some particular degree, where if you constantly think about the things that you want to achieve or do, your mind might be boggled into, at the end of the day, you've actually done nothing. Because what you've been doing is constantly worrying. But I think then you could also, in your perspective now, you could also flip that worrying and look at it in a way that you are constantly reminding yourself. You sort of are keeping yourself accountable to some sorts of what you said you're going to do, and you actively make sure every single day you achieve what you said you want. And I like your persistence, or you insisting on that day. The quarter starts with an hour, a day, a week, a month, and then it's 3 months. So you need to sort of take account of what you're doing on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So your conclusion, there are so many ways to kill a rat.
Yes. But we will review them at the end of the quarter and see.
We got to.
Yeah.
And guys, last episode of DISDAT, we actually concluded it talking of Waho's story, and
Now it has
we
developed.
wake up to another news.
It's like every other day, Airbnb.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I don't even what do you think of this whole thing? What you've seen the news on now, or making
I
headlines?
have.
This female, you've had the news?
Yeah, I've heard the news and I've been following, but we've been told that we hate Kenyan women. So I'm going to sit out on this
Do you?
one.
No.
And first, listen. Yes, I'm in it. Listen, I'm in it. Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. But I am going to have to listen to you first, so that then I come in.
I'll want to listen to you first. Then I'll come in, because I'm bringing the topic up. So guys,
And I would like to listen to Ghost first. Let me tell you why. Because last time we were looking at Starlet's story, and we were sort of looking at it from different angles.
Yeah.
We left it at your angle, being a journalist.
Which I probably do not remember right now.
Now thank me, because I remember it. It was the journalistic angle of it, and then you were saying something along the lines of ethics. From
that perspective,
and compare it to this new incident that has happened.
I am not going to be able to compare it until I hear from you ladies. Yeah, but I'm going to still talk about it from a journalistic perspective. Even as a journalist, your role is to inform, educate, and entertain. But I think I would blame social media to some extent, that it has taken away the eyeballs that now mainstream media are doing what content creators are doing to sort of compete with them,
and to remain relevant.
But even though that is the case, still you as the big media houses, you still need to set what you'd call the trend. That this is how this is supposed to be done, and this is how we are going to deliver this particular news, because we are the guys who are doing it ethically. Leave the content creators do what they gotta do, because that is a whole industry on its own. And I think the Communications Authority of Kenya, this might sound not too good to many content creators, but the Communications Authority of Kenya, they need to look into the ethics. They need to look into guidelines of how content creators put out information, because those pictures of Scarlett, they were wild. They were wild. So that's where I would want to leave it at that for now.
Before you leave it at that, Ghost, you see what essentially you're saying is that we need to have some sort of gatekeeping. But how can I think it's very hard to gatekeep right now with the onset of social media. We can do it.
Candy, let's hear what you have.
It was just to add on what you had just said, because I was watching this clip when someone said we have journalists, people who actually went to school and took time to study to become journalists, and
you're looking at them.
Yeah, and they have
you don't say some people.
Today, if they do anything else, I'm out. I'm giving them a warning.
Sorry.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, someone having to go to school and get to study to become a journalist, they've gotten the ethics. This is the profession. So all these content creators out here who just pick up a camera and today they've become journalists, that's just not acceptable, because it's like you just wasted your time going to school to study all this, then you come here, want to compete, or to say you're competing, or you want to say we're on the same level. That's just not acceptable, because at the end of the day, just to add on what she was saying, that was just not right. And if you look at it keenly, with the competition that you're saying, it was also wrong for the police to just be like, okay, open those doors wide, let everyone come in and do whatever they want to do and show it to the public, because this is showing truly what had actually happened.
But I am a worried lot, in terms of how different sectors in our country are behaving. There is some kind of, for lack of a better word, let me call it carelessness that I have seen in the recent year. Like, what have I got to lose? So, type of mindset. The police just do the way they would wish. Teachers just do what they would wish. Doctors just do. I was surprised. A doctor died inside a hospital. A doctor who wasn't sick.
What was the cause of death?
It hasn't been said, and this was in Nakuru. So it's quite alarming, the kind of country that we are turning into. We're becoming unruly. For let me even look at the political scene. Look at Salasia slapping a person, just because he refused to sit down. Like,
and these are the young leaders are telling, let's get rid of all these.
I'm like, I am the head boy. kaa chini. Yeah, look at what is happening in Kisii between Silvana Sosoro and so there is look at what is happening between the president, the deputy president, and towards the judiciary. So there is this rogueness that like we are literally out of order.
Yeah.
And actually the Chief Justice mentioned herself yesterday, and she was like, by the way you're setting, the way this whole thing is being set up, we are setting ourselves up for anarchy. And with the conversation, and this is where I really want to hear from you guys, with how these murders, it is termed now a femicide, with how the murders are happening, I am hearing most of the female content creators, the narrative that they are pushing, that Kenyan men hate women. I'm like, where is this coming from?
I think it's just from the mere fact that men are killing women. Yeah. But the sphere I had in mind when I see these stories is how you can't trust anyone. I know of a couple who dated online and got married and have children. Good story. Right now, even if you think of meeting someone online, it's dreading because I might just be meeting the devil, you know. So I think for me, it's just like right now, if you're searching for love, it's very difficult. Because you just can't trust anyone, and it's dreadful. You literally don't know anyone. It's crazy.
What is your take on this whole thing? Because some people are of the opinion, I think we thought after Scarlett Waho's situation, you old ladies will have learned and will not be meeting anyone in Airbnbs anymore, blah, blah, blah. And then there's this aspect of, let me put it out there, it's because these females are going for money,
yes.
They want kupata pesa haraka and all that. What is your take on all these things that are being said on social media?
I think right now sex is becoming a financial scapegoat for many ladies, and the reason being hakuna kazi, and this looks like a fast going business. It's very sad.
Me, what I find disheartening is that we are finding reasons to justify what is happening. You see, if you're finding a justification that I am doing this because of this, when are you going to own up and say, by the way, I am the problem? I am the problem. I personally do not have, if we say that Wahu was 5 or 4, and we say that she did not have morals, but morals is relative. Probably that was her definition of morals. So we cannot say that we are becoming a moralless society, because morals does not have a single sort of we cannot put it on one measuring stick and say that this is going to be the yardstick of morals. There is a different way you look at morals, there is a different way you look at morals, and I might look at morals differently. So morals is not really the problem. So what is exactly the problem? There's a video that I did these days. I try create content on TikTok.
We see you on TikTok.
Like, what is he saying? And today I went along the lines of you see, all of these things that are happening from the one of the things that I've got to learn, and I am an ardent believer of, is that what is happening today is a result of many things that have happened previously, like 4, 5, 10 years back in time. So what we are seeing currently is as a result of things that have been happening in the previous that we decided not to take action on. Case in point, many people have been saying, no, do not beat the children. Okay, when you spare the rod, the Bible itself that we vehemently agree with, you spoil the child. When did we start letting the putting down the rod? You can critically see where sort of the rain started beating us. But probably beating kids is not the solution. But are we available as parents to raise our children? Yeah. When you look at most of the cases that we're finding ourselves, and you constantly look behind and sort of do a background check, what are we going to be told about the the backgrounds of some of the people that are finding themselves in such situations, and not for those who are being mad or those who are losing their lives because they are totally innocent. I'm not supposed to lose my life just because I decided to trust somebody. You get, that is no justification for me losing my life. But what I'm saying is we need to be able to sort of cut and lower the urge of so many things that we want to achieve in our lives, and more so through unscrupulous ways. Yeah. And as I always say, choices have consequences. Yeah. That is how I would say it. Yeah. Choices have consequences, but it is sad that sometimes the consequences are somebody losing their lives.
Yeah.
I feel like from what you had said previously and your conclusion of choices have consequences, you talked of people actually going for let me say, people are meeting these people. You're meeting the other gender because you're getting money, because of, let me call it, this notion of prostitution. But looking at it, vizuri sana. If there's something that you have heard from Tene in history up to today,
you know, even our grandies used to do these things.
The stories of prostitution have been there up to today. These cases are there, and at the end of the day, if this, let me call it business, if this business was not business there, a business is there because there's supply and demand. If your business is umefungua duka asubuhi hadi jioni hakuna mtu amenunua hata maziwa, you'll close it down. You can't be having milk umenunua imeharibika kwa hiyo duka, then una hiyo kiharibika you knowing box ingine. No one. If there's no business, if there's no supply, if there's no demand, then biashara ingekuwa imefungwa. So at the end of the day, any other person who's coming here bringing the notion of ladies are actually going for these people, why are you even bringing money? Why is that even the reason? Who said this guy had money? Who said this person had money? Because at the end of the day, hiyo ni pesa gani hiyo nataka kuniambia ati which there was a big transaction that was happening over here.
There is a Candy, sorry to cut you short, but there is a video that a woman came out and confessed that they were being given 128 racks.
I remember that was
even the story of
the Nigeria story, and if you're looking at it in terms of leaders are going for money, that's why they're getting themselves in this situation. Let's look at it on this perspective of all these other people who were killed by their spouses because they were arguing, by this other particular person because these children getting raped, all these killings that are happening out of the mere fact of dough. So how do we get to conclude it all? Is it money? Is it the issues coming with them? Is it, okay, how do you justify it? Let's look at it visually. If you're justifying, actually I've seen that at first they were saying she was a 24-year-old, then later they came to say she was a 20-year-old girl. So at the end of the day, if she was after money, sindio, she was killed. You have, okay, so tuachane na hiyo story kwa sababu ilikuwa story ya do, nothing, let's get it away. So let's look at all these other cases which you can point and say this person was murdered not because of money, not because of anything. Some children are getting murdered, some people younger, they're getting murdered. How do we get to justify their cases if this one you're justifying with the story of Pesa?
I get where you're coming from, because even from the 3 cases you're talking about, aside from Starlet, the third one I saw on Citizen is just a woman found dead kwa nyumba, a lady. Just dead. And I think that's where the narrative of men hating women is coming from, because just dead. You know, of course you don't know the background, kunaweza kuwa na other stories, but what is it about women being killed right now? And I know Ghost will come from, because the other time we had a conversation about men being women being beaten by men, and he came out and said even men are being beaten. Yeah.
Why are you coming out with the receipts?
You know, and that is why the hashtag Femicide is right now trending, because why is it women? That's the big question. Why is it women?
And at the end of the day, if you're talking
and this is why I really wanted to hear from you guys, from your perspective. Why do we think that this is happening? Where did the rain start beating us? And I am of a different probably standing right now, and because it would be very insensitive if I asked the same question that I asked them. Yeah, because I am even thinking about it right now, and it does not add up at all.
Yeah.
My standing point is, one, nobody deserves to die. Just as you all said, you do not know Cat Williams, but in the interview that he did with some guy called Shannon Sharpman, he said that there should not be any justification of a woman or anybody being raped. Yeah, within those same lines, there should not be any justifications why a woman should be murdered.
Thank you.
Yeah, and probably there is another video that I was watching on TikTok, and this I've also known for so long. Whatever you say, whatever comes after but is invalid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in any explanation that we're trying to give right now, yes, we need to acknowledge that this is wrong, but there is also a but somewhere. But when you have that understanding in your head that everything that comes after but is irrelevant, then you're like, where do we take it from here? Yeah, where do we take it from here? But I will say that it's not an issue of men hating women, because for as far as I know, I've seen men who have gone all out to do everything for their women. So this generalizing that men hate women wouldn't sit well with me.
Sorry, I hope I'm not crushing you, but you see, for it to become ndio ikuja hadi anze kuitwa femicide, it was because this story is posted, and let me put it out there, men are coming out with comments that are just disgusting to look at. At the end of the day, if previously it was like, there's a case that has happened, it's ABC, all you can do is just be like, give empathetic about the situation. But how do you come out and be like, let me quote, can finish the statement, she deserved to die, this is what happens to blah 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 blah. These are why most of those comments were coming from men, most. And if there was a female who was there, please give me a cane unionyeshe ni mgani nimwekelewe boko kadhaa, because she
but
needs
also
a lot
women,
of those.
some of the women have also come up with such sentiments.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, most of the men. And that level of someone just coming out and speaking ni kama they were just so insensitive of the whole situation and what's happening, like this, that was just wrong. And that's where the notion of it being a femicide came in, because if this case has happened, then you all can come out here and laugh about it and even make jokes about it and even try and make it seem like it was just another one person who deserved to die because of A, B, C. No. That's where the issue came in of these people actually, this hate. If the hate was not there, this person as a man will be, this person did not deserve it. Simple.
Well, for the longest time, men have been categorized or characterized as people who generally hate women. So why do we feel the urge of saying that we are putting a lot of emphasis on it right now? And you see, I want to speak as remorseful, in a remorseful tone as much as possible. But from what you've just said there, look at I do not want to start playing comparisons here, but when a community, let me say, has been pressed so much onto the wall, and then something happens and they're like, okay, probably we can capitalize on this finally to be heard. Most of the time it is not the right time for them to be heard. So you would find that most of the men that are putting out such comments, these are things that they have wanted to say for the longest time.
Some are just dumb.
But because they do not have the opportunity to say these things, and they are saying it at a very, very critical time that they're not supposed to be saying these things. Because when we look at the justification of not really justifying what is happening, but why men would come out and ask themselves, by the way, if you did not want anything to do with me, you could have not come into my. But then how was the woman supposed to know that you are a psycho?
Thank you.
You get. But also the man is like, they know what the demand is from the other side. So I'm gonna give you give you the bait that you want, and when you come my way, I'm gonna do what I feel I am going to do at that particular time. I think men, and if you're a man and you're listening to me right now, I think you just need to sit. We just need to sit. We need to do two things. Yeah, men who have something actually warranted to be said, they should come out and say it, because most of the people that I have been seeing talking about this thing, it's women. Probably they are the most aggrieved, because you're like, I am going to be in the house dressing up to go for a party, but I might be going to meet my death. Probably not for me. So if you don't have anything constructive to say, just keep it to yourself. Yeah.
I think in the spirit of having something constructive to say, and in the spirit of being empathetical, I think we also need to speak the truth. I think in these situations, sometimes it's very hard to speak the truth.
Yeah.
Now, in the line of business, I'm coming there. Yeah, in the line of speaking about this whole thing, about it being a business, I think we should also, and we need to tell our girls, and there's so many young girls who are seeing what is happening right now, and even us as women, let it not get to a point where you feel the need to commercialize your body to support yourself. I understand, and I know of cases where a lady has been ameshindwa kujisupport kabisa, and the only thing she can think of doing is to sell her body to survive, and it has worked for them. And after they've survived, after they've invested that money, now they are good, they quit. As me, I would tell girls and even my fellow women, it's a point where we think that we were here to be commercialized, to be objectified. If you can find anything else to do it.
My comment. Let me start with what he said. What he had said previously. Where did we finish that statement? Where did we do what now?
Where did we go wrong?
Where did it drop to the
Where did the rain start beating?
Thank you. It got us. I feel like ilianza kitambo sana. Let's start with, we don't need to pick.
By the way, I even saw somebody blame the president because of the visa-free entry to the country.
So, let me start with, we just tulianza hapo nyuma kitambo sana, where these young boys and these young men were not taught about the best way to care about the women they're going to have in their life.
I also got to take care of myself, Kendi. Why do I have to take care of that other person?
Why can't I take strong? We as girls.
Why can't I also? You see, we are supposed to look at the problem as a standalone thing. We are not supposed to say we are not safe because they were not taught.
That's what I'm saying.
There is nothing that we can do about it right now.
I know we cannot do anything. That's why we've asked to leave where ilianza wapi.
She's giving us history.
We're girls. Actually, for example, as a guy, at the end of the day, you will do whatever you, okay, unaona kama hizo stories of domestic violence, blah, blah, blah. Where do we tunasemanga ilitoka wapi? From your family. You saw it happening, that's why it's happening. So that's where we drop the ball. If you as a guy, you're going to meet maybe a lady who's like, yo, I want to get what I want. If she dare says no, you're like, I'm going to beat the hell out of you, or I'm going to torture you. Inamaanisha this person has never ever got to see, like, ama hajaikuwa, this is actually super. No. Inafaa kuilianza huko. At the end of the day, as girls pia, kuna vitu zingine tutakuja tuanze kusema sahi ati maybe udem, she was not maybe supposed to dress like this, maybe to do something, maybe hivi. Or generally what I'm saying, all these things should not be happening. And just to land it, venye tu Julius Malema alisema, our ladies are not supposed to be walking around here feeling scared. Our ladies are not supposed to even to feel like they need to be protected. No person should be doing anything in terms of I'm defending myself. Why? All these things just don't, as if it wasn't to happen. If no man is coming to kill any lady, then no person will feel like they need to protect themselves from being killed. If no person is going to attack you anywhere, then why do you need to feel like you're covering yourself to be secure or something? Easy vitu zote, all these insecurities are not supposed to be happening because they should not be happening even in the first place. Sai tuko, it's happening, yes, it's here. There's no way we're going to actually take just a step back and be like, okay, tumeacha sasa all of a sudden. And at the end of the day, every person who's saying all these things are happening for rituals. That story which you have said, this person, wa Nigeria, sijui kuchukua nyota, sijui rituals, this girl was sharing her whole story, alikuwa sema how everything was just going down and everything. At the end of the day, why are they saying we had men doing these rituals and that's why they need females? Why didn't we have a group of men and women doing rituals, then they needed to get men and also needed to get women to get these rituals done? Why is it that the women are on the receiving end of this? That's a question which you're supposed to be having. If it's this lady is getting abused maybe at her home and a chapa with the immediate family, and then she's at the receiving end, hakufanya hivi zuri, that should not be happening. No person is supposed to be walking around feeling insecure. Ukitembea usiku as a lady, you're always like, am I safe? Is someone going to attack me or something? That is constantly happening. So for this girl, alienda to meet this person. They knew each other, maybe not for long or maybe for long, we just don't know. But this guy had planned it. So wezi niambia alitumia kisu ya Airbnb kukata mifupa ndo separate her body parts. No, this guy knew, I'm actually meeting this lady and this is the reason why I'm meeting her. And this is how I'm going to do it. If it was a struggle or anything, then maybe a neighbor would have had a scream or something. No scream, no nothing. This whole thing was planned. So, history ati ni kama ladies are supposed to be told to be careful. Nini. We can't get
if
there.
If you all are not supposed to be told to be careful, then what are you supposed to be told?
Let's just stop doing all this shit. Men stop doing it to women. Women, let's try. At the end of the day, that's all we can do for now. But try to pick a point in you. We're just not feeling like we have to be careful. And men are just not doing shit to hurt people.
There is somebody that was saying, I think there is a woman, she's in the US, but she's Kenyan. She was like, no man is going to go to, and this is in terms of discerning the red flags when you might be finding yourself in a relationship that is unscrupulous. The woman was like, and it made so much sense to me. The woman was like, I think I even started sort of shared a meme on my status, and the woman was saying that a man is not going to go to the office or aende kwa mjengo. Okay, office I've made it so lavish. I am not going to go kwa mjengo nioshe magari nitembeze mayai then jioni nikuje nikupatie 50 grand for free. You get that essence that even if I am not bringing it towards the essence of that I am going to murder you, but there is something that I am expecting in return. So you or as the other person who is on the receiving end expecting that this person is going to give me money for free without anything attached to it, then that says a lot about me. You get the perspective where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So the moment you see such things happening, you then you're supposed to take a step back and you're like, by the way, yeah, I'm interested in you, but why exactly am I getting this amount of money? Yeah, but because we have been so blinded by money and by earthly things, we're like, by the way, that video that went viral on the internet before, Scarlett, is it Starlet who died? She was like, by the way, mimi pesa ikiisha subscription nimefanya nini?
Yeah.
So when you look at it from and this I might be tetearing wanaume, you would look at things from a logical point of view. Most men look at things from a logical point of view. When you look at what is happening logically, definitely it is going to rub people the wrong way, and you're going to be told that you hate this particular gender because you are putting and stating things as factual as they can be stated.
Even as a woman, if I say that, then I'm turning against my own people, my own gender.
You get, and if you say that, you're like, okay, isn't she one of us? Doesn't she feel the pain that we are feeling? But if you have parents, my mom used to beat the hell out of me if I go to the house at 7 p.m. Mark you, I am a boy, and I was a teenager. And there is even a day, I'm taking you down my life's history. There is a day that I was just away from home for an entire week. For me to be able to go back into line to make sure that before 7 p.m. I'm supposed to be where? At home. Not because there was anything that was going to happen to me, but because they were taking extra care of their son to some extent. So when we do particular things and we're like, I'm just supposed to do it, I am supposed to feel safe, we know we are social beings. Yeah. Have you seen monkeys that have undressed women who are dressing scantily? So are we also going to, we are not calling men monkeys, but are we also going to be able to control those monkeys? So if a monkey can be able to see that there is something morally wrong here, then why aren't we as human beings saying it? Yeah. And I'm not saying that now I am encouraging men because you've seen a woman dress scantily, then that gives you the audacity to do. And this is my philosophy. This is what I always tell people, and this is in general, even when it comes to the LGBTQ community. If honestly I do not feel comfortable around you, I will just leave. Yeah, I will just do what? I will just leave. But then you would also ask yourself, for how long am I going to be moving away? And it is the other person who has come into my space. Yeah. It's and right now the emotions are so high.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to find any amicable solution for this particular conversation.
That is very true. But I just would say, now that we know what some men are looking for and what some women are going for, if you're out there genuinely looking for someone to date or looking genuinely for love, don't date. No, you can find love. Right now, if you just see one small red flag, like, you just run because you don't know.
So which are some of these red flags? We're talking about red flags. Which are some of these red flags that we should look at?
He's a man.
I think for me, off of my mind right now, we just met, we went on a date, you're calling me to your home right now. I'm sorry, no. Because you're going to kill me. Bye. Candy, any last word?
Of this. I've already
I know you're very heated.
If you're a man.
If you're a man,
but also for me, if you're a woman, it's a red flag for me.
What am I going to do to you if I'm a woman? Have you had any woman?
We can tell the toxic people in this room.
Now, I did not want to go back to the conversation of the receipts that you brought in. But you see, most of these things that were happening, or that we are finding ourselves in, we are selectively saying that it can work on the other side, but it cannot work on me. You see what she just asked me right there? I am a woman. What am I going to do to you?
I've not heard of any case of woman killing man.
Do you want me to remind you Cohen?
No.
You want me to remind you Cohen?
Yeah.
You want me to remind you?
Look at the problems you're bringing now.
You get. We need to understand that it can happen. If I am dating a woman who is a psycho, she will. While I was in the holidays, I was speaking to my auntie, and she gave me a crazy story of a woman who was very much obsessed over the boyfriend, and she could not let him succeed in anything. She just wanted this man for herself. And there is a day she was telling me that this man had gotten a job that he would be working with one of the exes, and she was like, "You're not going to work in that place." You know what she did? He was supposed to go for an interview, and this woman was like, "I am going to plot so that you do not go for that job interview." Mandem was sleeping, dead asleep. Gandem came with razors. She cut off the eyebrows, the eyelashes, and he had sort of an afro, akapitisha mabonde. So I'm like, she did not go far to do anything else to him, but if then you have the audacity to cut my eyebrows and my eyelashes.
Ako anasikia kikata eyebrows? No.
So
maybe I'm a practice.
So Monday wakes up in the morning looking in the mirror, he's like, Wow. Actually, that's where he got the courage even to break up with this.
Most definitely.
With this particular woman.
Yeah.
And it's only that we might be lucky that the people that we are with, they are not those types, because
absolutely
we find ourselves, sad to say this or unlucky to say this, the times I would sleep in a previous relationship that I was in, and you would wake up and your person is looking at you like this. And you're like, it's in the middle of the night. It's in the middle of the night. What are you looking at? And they're like,
maybe they're admiring you. Maybe they're admiring you.
I'm just looking at you. I'm like, how I never go back to sleep. Now you're like, what if they decide to slap me in the middle of the night? Because kuamuka. You get? Yeah. So it's ni gamble too. Yeah.
True.
Ni gamble too. Even if you
gamble.
vet somebody and they just decide to snap.
Yeah.
It's just like that for you.
Yeah.
So we only have to hope and pray to the heavens.
Yes.
That our people don't turn on us. Candy, you're thinking so hard.
You see, I was looking on social media. You guys, I'm sure you've watched the pastors documentary.
Swallowed.
Tell me about it, Shaggy.
I watched the documentary, 3 episodes of the documentary. First of all, I think this guy was a great communication strategist.
TB Joshua.
Yes. And I probably should learn from him. On a very light note.
I was having a conversation. We were working with the director here somewhere. He's seated somewhere here, and one of our colleagues. And I was telling them, education is not the key to success.
I promise you.
Yeah, education. As long as you have a goal and you are determined to go and achieve that goal, even without education, you can. TB Joshua wasn't educated.
I know. I think this guy had a vision and a goal. He knew where he was going, and he knew what
Candy style. I know what I want to achieve.
yeah. I know what I need to do.
Them a last one. Should I start? Will anyone blame me right now?
No, don't go.
He knew what he wanted to do. And he knew the steps he wanted to take, and he did exactly that. Actually, in the documentary, the Nigerian lady says, another lady was saying, this is the greatest con man that ever lived
of all time.
And I agree, because wow. And I think one of my takeaways from that, I used to wonder, how are you able to brainwash thousands of people? And a lady was explaining that you don't sleep, you rarely eat, and that makes your brain chemistry to be altered with. So I remember she was being told TB Joshua was healing prostitutes as well, changing their mentality and all. And she was saying, alikuwa nakalisha kwa room, given a piece of paper, imeandikwa, I am a prostitute.
There is a lady here, you are a prostitute. It has become a professional job for you. Prostitute?
He got me to write down that I am a prostitute from Namibia 400 times. And then I signed on camera that it is me, Jessica, signing, I'm a prostitute from Namibia 400 times.
So he keeps repeating it. So mkienda church, and you look at him, and I noticed he would ask, are you a prostitute? So your brain connects to what you've been listening to all that time. I am a prostitute. And the healing occurs. Crazy. You don't
Wait, you're previously not a prostitute, actually.
You're a virgin. You're a virgin. So that story, I now came to understand how you can actually brainwash people. Because what when you know, and then again, one thing I also noted, it's people seeking solace in nature. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Vulnerable people who are seeking solace in the church. There was even a lady who was gay, is gay, and she wanted not to be gay, and went to church
because of the background of the family.
She knows being a gay is wrong, and she wants to change, and she knows the church is the best place to go.
When I was 12, I realized I was gay, and it was like, I can't have God if I'm gay, and I can't be gay because it's wrong.
So again, strategy. This guy had thousands of tips. Need tips then? Ghost, it's tips.
It's tips.
It's tips.
You have to ask the grandpas.
Yes. But you saw tapes, yeah?
Yeah, we used them.
Oh.
Tapes sio hii ya kufunga
My
vitu.
parents' wedding.
Oh.
Hey.
Wow.
The guy had thousands of tapes and he was supplying them globally. And that's how this lady, I think from German or from whichever country, England, got the tape, and she was like, oh,
this is happening. Yeah.
And it's an African church. Like, wow, I need to go to this place. Goes to the place, and this guy is smart. TB Jakes told one of the disciples is to scout for people who are looking like, I'm really looking for God. Yeah. And they found the lady. This gay lady, because of course she was tomboyish, and they were like, call her, tell her we need her as a disciple. And that's how she found herself in the cult. So it's really how you want to go to church to find solace, to meet God, and there's someone who wants someone exactly like you to use you to get money. And this guy was a millionaire.
Ghost,
given that you brought up the story, tell us.
I actually previously were just having a conversation.
Hey, who are you hanging out with? Converse this side.
I know.
she's starting to speak some Spanish, and French.
Yeah, national language.
Before we know.
I was having a conversation with her, and I was telling her how I've not really even followed up. I've not intentionally.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm having it, and I'm like, should I? No, let me not. I don't know.
I tell you, if you start watching, you won't stop.
I know. So I'm like, do I really want to get into? Because I'm looking at it in terms of, we have churches here in Kenya which have the numbers. We have one known in Uganda of having the numbers. So nikikuwa na hiyo perspective, this is what is going on. I'm telling you, me and my God, this year tuko pamoja, and I don't want to, I just
But you do not want any distractions.
Yes, there'll be. I'm going to get to it. I'm sure I will, but do I want to get into it now?
Why?
I don't know. I just don't want to. I feel like we have churches in Kenya.
Are you part of?
Numbers.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a part of that.
Okay.
We have the same churches.
I like that question.
Recently, we were talking of Shaka and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. You see, I was watching this movie. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Najita Ruthless. It's about a cult and how they're working and everything going on with cult and everything. But watching it from a movie perspective, it's interesting. But now bringing it to the real life, it's like I'm feeling like when I watch it, you've actually, this is real life.
But why are you afraid of the truth?
I'm not really afraid of the truth. I just don't want to get to it right now.
Why?
Because I don't want to. I know you're expecting me to give you this reason, thought out, in explain. You see, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, why don't you want to?
I feel like I will, but I'll say you see, you can easily, I know right now it can easily change the perspective that I have
towards church,
towards preachers, towards I personally, I say I have a personal relationship.
So you just want to retain your sanctity.
No, I have a personal relationship. I won't rely on a pastor to be the person to
be the gateway.
No. But you can look at it in the perspective of, how are you going to go to a church and actually even get to listen to this man of God? What is going to be ringing in your mind?
Don't you think, Candy, if you see the nitty-gritty of how falsehood is being propagated in these churches, then you will be able to discern the truth from this falsehood?
And that's what I'm saying.
You do not want to discern right now.
You want to live in your own bubble.
It's not like I'm taking it like the whole of this year to the next 5 years. No. It's kuna vile sometimes venye magalden tunakuanga. I just want to break up with this person, but I'm waiting for that day he says where and points at me. We are done. It's like you're waiting for that cue.
But by the time you're waiting, Candy,
we're breaking up.
Already mentally you're out of there.
Thank you.
You get.
So that's just an example of until you let him in and like, okay, now let me get to this.
So you're waiting for a sign.
No sign, no anything. It's just an example.
I am not understanding.
For my mind to just be like, okay.
Oh Lord, said me a sign.
So you're mentally preparing yourself to watch the documentary.
Yeah. nataka kichwa yangu ikuwe vizuri. Unajua simekwambia New Year resolutions they coming of vizuri.
Yeah.
Alafu tuharibu mara moja. No, hatuwezi haribu mwaka na tunaanza mama. But I will. Don't worry.
Look at them consoling themselves.
I know, but I will, and it's actually scary. But let me first finish my series.
Okay. Good luck. Ghost.
Good luck with that. Okay.
Sorry. Do you think these pastors get the money that they get from believers, or where are politics involved in all this? Where exactly? Pesa yote yenye uko nayo.
And then
Sawalipi ushuru.
and also the healing is not for free. You think I'm going to heal you of cancer for free?
I'm poor. I'm coming to you.
Let me
Listen.
tell you, when you're desperate, you will find that money.
Where did you see that video towards Christmas of our guy, this guy Neno Church, our guy?
Leteni thou.
Hey, leteni thou.
But
Do you know how much money that guy collected on that particular day? Just for that, and that was not the tithe. He was like, by the way, nimejisikia kila mtu anipatie thou.
nipewe 1,000.
Ni baraka. You get
unanipea 500 unataka nikuombea wewe na familia yako na buka yako.
Are you okay? Are you?
I was in Abatatu when these people were discussing that story next to me, and I was laughing with them. We would think we know one another because it was just funny. Yeah, it was interesting.
But it's interesting, and it's a sad time. I'm not justifying why Kenny does not want to watch that particular documentary. But if you think it is going to have any emotional damage on you, and you feel that you and yours pastor relationship is intact, please do not watch it. But if you want to sort of have an understanding, you, Shalene, from a journalistic point of view, you would want to be inquisitive.
Yes.
And probably from a Candy's perspective, from a believer's perspective, because she does not want to have any new information about churches.
I am a journalist who's a believer, Ghost.
I'm not saying I don't want any information.
Listen, I'm not saying that you're not a believer.
Yeah.
But as a journalist, you like anything that happens. I know you have a story for TB Joshua, you have a story for TD Jakes, you have a story about Willow and Smith. Literally, you have everything. I'm not saying that Kendi is not willing to look out for. She's a content creator who's good at it, so she also needs to be updated, but she's just decided not at this moment. Not at this moment, probably on a later date. This is the last thing that I would say about this whole story. Before you go out to look from outside, try your level best to look from inside. And I know sometimes we are empty from the inside, that's why we look from the outside, but the answers are not outside. Most of the times the answers are from within. And then it should be our responsibility to critically work around and identifying that people who are truly for us, who will now enable us to develop in whichever way, spiritually, financially, economically, socially, and all of that, so that we do not need to rely on any other person for them to be that a part of it. When I look at how those guys used to follow TB Joshua, these are people who are coming from an empty, lawless place. They were like, you are our everything. And we've seen relationship. Women who have believed that men they are their everything, and men who have believed that this woman is my everything. But they are in a, basically, I would say TB Joshua and his disciples were in a toxic relationship. Where you're beaten but you do not want to go. Ile siku hajanipiga hanipendi.
Even if you want to go, you can't go. Even if you want to go, you can't go.
You can't go because that is that is a mentality that you have been made to believe. Just like Kenyans, we have been made to believe that when we are mistreated by our government, we are only supposed to wait for 5 years to do something about it. That is a mentality that has been strongly drilled into our heads. You can only do something about it after 5 years.
Which we don't do.
Sorry, Patricia. Don't you think?
Never have done.
Don't you think if you wanted to go? In my opinion, let me just point it out and bring out the Shakahola case.
Yeah.
Do you think if you wanted to go, you'll just go because you were going? This person has something to protect, so that's linking it directly to it. I'm sure. haikuwangi, you've gotten to this place, you're like, wow, this is just not what I was looking for, I need to go. You're like, no, you're not going anywhere, you're actually going directly to where you'll be going to meet your ancestors and your other historians. Go meet them.
Yeah, of course, physically.
That's the only way. That's the only way to go. It's either you stay, you know this, let me say BULL, and you have to stay. But at the end of it's, I don't think there's always a way out easily. Because at the end of the day, why is the truth coming out now? How many years down the line?
No, this is a documentary that has been produced for the past 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, so it has been in investigation from the past 2-3 years.
When did he die?
I think in 2018.
Yeah, actually, when they were doing the investigation, in the process, he died. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not ready for this. Pack my things.
I cannot be alive when this goes out.
Actually, there is somebody who asked me, what if all these documentaries came out while this man was still alive?
I wonder.
Wow.
I wonder. Oh my lord.
Yeah.
But Ghost, you've watched the documentary. What was the most disgusting part of the documentary?
No,
For
having people who are looking at somebody else as a god.
Oh.
That was. And this is why I also do not like politicians who make their followers sort of worship them as if you're a god. My friend, ukikatwa nikatwe hapa, sisi sote tunatoa damu. Yeah, you are only in that particular standing because you have believed sort of yourself in yourself, and the universe has conspired to give you what you have. But if I also looked into myself and did what I have to do, I might not become you, but I will also become the better version of myself. So there is no business that I have to exalt you. And I come from a school of thought that me personally, I do not fear people, I respect people. But most people give this vibe of, it's the president, we have to fear him. I don't give that type of vibes. Yeah, I will handle everything respectfully, but I'm not going to exalt you. I think that is what I find most cringe. And I always ask myself when I do things, I'm like, how is it going to look a year from now? How is it going to look 2 years down the line? Yeah, am I going to feel comfortable to look at myself? Hey, by the way, I was that guy who exalted this particular person. Yeah, but if I respected you in your own right, I'm like, hey, by the way, with the work ethic that you put in here, I respect you. Not that now I'm worshipping you. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah,
I think for me, the fact that there was rape involved, the fact that there was violence involved, and mental incapacitation was utterly disgusting to me.
Funny thing. Did they mention anything to do with drugs or anything to make sure these people are staying?
They had a whole emergency unit with, I think, oh my god, I used to wonder again, how is it that a person who comes supposedly akona cancer kwa mguu, and after before and after amepona. So from that documentary, I learned a lot. I wanted to know how are pastors able to lie to us and you believe. So apparently they had medical doctors. So let's say if I come, I have a scar over here that looks like, of course ukienda, it's something recurrent. And again, it's coming from a place of again, emptiness. You can't afford medication. And the church is the easier way to go about it. And you go there with your scar, and the doctor looks at you, medical doctor, and now kila mtu ako na kibao imeandikwa the sickness that you have. And they say, sasa you have cancer. Okay? The medical doctor tells you, and you will believe. But it's just a scar. So what they do, apparently they treat you even for 6 months. By the time unaenda church kutoa testimony, there's medicine involved that has worked for you. And because you are gullible and the congregation is gullible as well, they come show you the before. And this guy was good at recording. Yeah, they come and show you the before. Alikuwa na hii kidonda, it was cancer, stage 4. And then after 6 months of treatment, you don't know ni 6 months. Apo akishasema apone, anapona, and it looks much better than it was before. And it just goes to show how even brains can make you the most vile of people. That documentary was so disgusting to me. So disgusting.
And the person that I'm worried for the most, whoever was editing that stuff, I think that guy needs to be checked right now. That guy or woman or whoever was behind the editing, cut here, remove this, put this. Nah, he needs a break.
That's right.
But again, he helped us because at least we have footage to go through. Ukisema weird stuff or things that we can actually see you were lying, there's factual evidence that you were actually lying.
See, this is reminding me of these whole cases that we've been seeing. You remember when Kanyari was trending, using chemistry education to make sure people are believing miracles were happening, and all these cases which, let me see, these trying pastors come up with. They pick someone on the street, or it's your turn to go on the street and pick people, then bring them here and make sure they come and become healed and do all these things, and you make sure you're not actually getting someone who's in a real situation. Then it has reminded me of these videos on social media of, you see how pastors wanajua, my ushers are brought to me the people that I need here. Sorry to use this example, as in I'm just going to say they're healed, then they're going to pretend, they're going to stand, they're going to walk. So this lady was brought to the podium, and alikuwa on a wheelchair, and she had covered the feet. So pastor was like trying to preach and be like, and then she's going to walk. So she was supposed to take the kitamba off. Then she was supposed to stand and walk, only to find that the legs are amputated. Sorry. So there's no way this miracle was going to work. The pastor had to take it.
Wow. They're like, cut, take two. There is another one in Nigeria that I was watching. Nigeria has always to be the place. The pastor is praying, and he's expecting this guy to fall. Yeah? He's in the middle of then his phone rings. One time decided to receive the call, and the pastor tried to scatter. Now the devil is, my goodness.
We see those things. Okay, we see all these things happening on social media, and you're like,
but I think most of these religions, tuseme tu wase wako busy.
Yeah.
Wase wako busy.
Conclusion, yeah.
Yeah, wase wako too busy. With an exception of our brothers and sisters from the SDA community.
They have their own. What's Jua?
But so far,
listen,
we've not had scandals.
Our brothers and sisters, but they also practice cultism. Like, how will you all drink soya for no good reason? Nyinyi tu muamue tutakunywa soya. Yeah, the SDAs do not come at me, but when you look at Muslims, when you look at SDAs, when you look at Christians and Protestants, and all these other small religions, sijui Lady Maria, sijui akina nani. But what I would say, my final take would be, you necessarily do not need to be religious. You just need to be a believer. Yeah, and based on your beliefs and you getting to understand whatever book that you subscribe to, then that is what you need to use as best now to go into religion, because there are so many religions. But there is only one thing to believe in, that there is a person who is high up above, who is watching all over us. Because that is the premise that every other religion tells you. In Islam, they will tell you there is Allah. In Christianity, they will tell you there is God and his Jesus, his son Jesus, and all those other disciples. In all these other religions, they would also tell you that there is a higher supreme being. So if you have that belief and you are content with that, and you know that this being or spring being or whatever is up there is going to have you in its mind, because it said from the beginning that I knew you, that is as much as you would want to have, and then remain in the laws of the universe, basically. Yeah, and with that understanding, then you, because when we say we are religious and this religion is better than the other, what will the Chinese say?
That's what we're
what will the Indian say? Yeah, what will the Philippines say? Yeah, if we're going to say that a religion,
the Philippines don't believe in God.
They do. They are actually staunch Christians. Yeah. But I'm just using it as an example. What will they say? Yeah, if we say that now religion is the yardstick, but at least everybody we know, Indians, in whatever they believe, they worship, they are believers. That is the best thing that we need to do. That
And I feel like that's where I was stuck, because at the end of the day, recently I was really following up on how many people want to come out and compare religion. Like, Christianity is not right, you're doing this wrong. Muslims, you're wrong. You see, and it was super. It was one of those conversations which we can never get to conclude.
Yeah, because everyone wants to believe my way is the right way.
What he's just said, I hope every other person who wants to bring all the comparison and everything, just take that as a takeaway. And I hope this time we do our viewers justice and give them an outro. Just don't disappear. Yeah.
Like Gafla Binvu.
No, we're not doing that. So I hope
Are we done with all the stories for today?
Yeah. Hata mwana direction atambia wakati umefika. We've had you, sir.
I was trying to remember a closing school song. Too old to remember.
You guys had a closing song.
See, all the song that you all used to sing when you're going home.
I think it
I'm trying
depends
to
on
remember
where you studied from. Yeah. That's how West Country later, like, what?
Yeah, you all who went to polling station primary school.
Yeah, I hope our viewers today have enjoyed this show. Nimekuwa fiti. To all the OGs, thank you for kukuja, and I hope you watch the show from the start to the end. The new people who have been able kupatana na hii video mahali, make sure you watch and subscribe to the channel. We go
like pia.
Tafadhali.
We hope next week we'll have more happy stories.
Yeah, it has been
This week has been very sad.
we
Very
are
depressing.
intentionally going to have happy stories.
Yeah.
No matter what bad has happened, no for us. Happy stories.
A happy story. You saw that video ya Crazy Kena ya Happy New Year. He was sort of ilikuwa ameosha all his attires that anachezeaga character zake while he's whistling and naziweka kwa line. He's like, basically I'm saying, I am coming back. It is the new year. I'm coming back with a bang. Yeah.
Yeah, so mimi nimekuwa Kindiki with these two people. Next time if they do something, I'm out of this. I'm out, guys. I've promised you.
Mine is just to say Happy New Year.
Wow. Thank you for reminding me.
DISDAT